posting a link to the spreadsheet that includes 23 driver deaths and 57 total deaths in Tesla-related crashes. And this was a reply to Elon Musk being so proud for his autopilot team.
The Tesla Q podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended for and should not be used as financial, investment, or trading advice. Research associated with fiscal decisions should be conducted elsewhere. The host of the show possesses no license or credentials to warrant accepting advice based on what is heard on the Tesla Q podcast. Additionally, even though the host and guests may hold positions in companies discussed on the show, they don't have insights into the next time step of the simulation. Therefore, do not make any financial decisions based on the contents of this podcast.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 23 of the Tesla Q podcast. This episode was not planned to be this particular format. I had planned to do another rundown episode about March Madness and all the wonderful strategic decisions that have been made since February 28th, which is where I ended the last rundown episode. But we have some late breaking Twitter news. It's actually a couple hours old already. I've somewhat gotten caught up on the news, and that is that Elon Bachman, which is one of the most fantastic Tesla Q Twitter accounts, has had the account suspended. So I'm going to get into that in just a bit. I will say that since the last episode, there is now a Patreon account for the Tesla Q podcast. So if you want to give a one-time donation, or contribution, I should say, you can still go to the Square Cash app or cash.me/TeslaQ podcast. Or if you want to be a recurring contributor, you can go to patreon.com/TeslaQ podcast. That's TSLAQ podcast. And there are different subscription tiers. There's a $1 per month tier, a $2.10 per month tier if you want to be half of a 420 club. There's $4.20 per month, which I anticipate being a popular choice. It's $5 a month, $25 a month, and then some crazy ones if you want to convince me that I should make this my full-time job instead of my current full-time job. So check that out. At least go read the different tiers. I tried to throw a little humor in there. I do plan to have some premium content available to subscribers. Still working through how to structure that and everything, but that'll work out over time. So into the episode. This is episode number 23. The reason for this episode is that Elon Bachman's Twitter account has been suspended. It is up for debate whether that was directly a request from Elon Musk or whether it was the result of many people reporting the tweet that Elon Bachman made that was directly in reply to Elon Musk. Either way, his account is suspended, and the last tweet made prior to the suspension was simply posting a link to the spreadsheet that includes 23 driver deaths and 57 total deaths in Tesla-related crashes. And this was a reply to Elon Musk being so proud for his autopilot team. Over the past few days, Elon Musk has made several different tweets about autopilot. It seems to me to be a little bit of a last-ditch, end-of-the-quarter effort to pull in some very high-margin revenue to help improve the financial numbers for the quarter. But the heart of the matter is really whether Tesla Autopilot or Enhanced Autopilot or full self-driving, whatever it is that they're selling. The question is that ready to be on the road with drivers? Many people in Tesla Q Twitter referred to people who own Teslas and drive them as beta testers. And that's because it seems that seems that autopilot is not fully functional yet. Now, whether there are Federal Trade Commission concerns about whether Tesla should be collecting revenue for a product that's not yet available, that's a valid question. Whether they should have enhanced autopilot without driver observation system that maybe checks for periodic torques on the steering wheel or pushes the accelerator to ensure that the driver is remaining attentive while using autopilot. I know that some other companies have such features or are working on such features. I'm not sure that Tesla's autopilot has such a feature to a significant enough degree to be considered safe. Elon Musk himself, in a 60 Minutes interview, has demonstrated hands-free use of autopilot, which is, if I'm not mistaken, per the owner's manual, not a recommended way to use autopilot. I can't say for sure whether autopilot was a contributing factor in any of the deaths that are documented in the spreadsheet. But it is clear that Tesla has used safety information as part of their marketing campaign. They've touted many times the NHTSA crash data. I will just say that the items that are tested in those tests are known in advance and can be designed for. The real world test of a Tesla vehicle driving underneath a semi-trailer is apparently not as safe as the items that are tested in the crash test protocol that is undergone by automobiles within the US. So it is a different type of crash, but it is a type of crash that has occurred on multiple occasions and has resulted in a few actual real deaths. And even if the NHTSA gives a 5-star crash test rating to a Tesla automobile, that doesn't bring those people back. They actually did die. There's also the battery fire aspect. I don't know the exact stats of whether a Tesla is more likely than an internal combustion vehicle to catch fire or not, or in the event of a fire, how easy it is for rescue workers to get the people out. But there have been a number of cases of Tesla vehicles catching on fire, and in some cases reigniting after the initial fire has been put out. These have actually happened. I don't know that the NHTSA crash test protocol really imposes much fire risk. I don't know if maybe the impacts of the side impact test probably doesn't puncture the battery packs and cause a fire to start. The coolant, which was talked about in the interview with Keith on episode 19, I'm not sure that has been factored in. Not sure the combustible loading of the lithium batteries versus the fuel in the gas tank, although that could be calculated relatively easily by someone who was so motivated. So I don't know the actual numbers of things, but I do know that Elon Musk and Tesla have rapidly touted their safety as a selling point for Tesla vehicles. And I know that there are 23 drivers and 50-something total people who have died in crashes of Teslas. Whether that was the direct result of autopilot or a wompy wheel or a battery fire, I don't have the statistics in front of me. I don't know how it would have compared to a wreck in any other vehicle, but those people actually did die. The 5-star rating from the NHTSA for Tesla vehicles did not save those particular people. So a Tesla it's not fail-safe. I mean, nothing in life is fail-safe. There's risk in everything, but it seems irresponsible to me that autopilot has been marketed so heavily as being so easy that you're not fatigued by driving, and Elon Musk himself and Ross Gerber have demonstrated that you can use it without having your hands on the wheel. And the fact that Tesla's already taking in revenue for features that are not yet feature complete, even though he said that he thinks that they will be feature complete by the end of 2019, which is also in doubt, is also questionable. So most people listening to this are probably on Twitter and were probably aware of the fact that Elon Bachman's account has been suspended. But if not, now you know. There's a Zero Hedge article out about it. There are at least 12, probably a lot more than 12 people who have modified their Twitter pictures to include the Elon Bachman image from before in solidarity. And yeah, so whether it was a direct action of Elon Musk or Jack Dorsey to have the account suspended, the account is suspended, and it seems to be a direct result of the sharing of the spreadsheet of the actual data. So the actual data will now be known by many, many more people. Similarly to when Montana Skeptic got doxxed, that increased his profile considerably. Similarly, Elon Bachman's profile is being enhanced by this action, and this spreadsheet with actual data, actual links to news articles about the incidents is going to be much, much more widespread. So I think I've rambled enough. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. So get out there on Twitter, or don't. Go check out the Patreon page, see which tier you'd like to be a contributor at. If you want some shorty merch, go to evacuationboy.com, try the offer code Q15, see if it still works, and I think we'll call that an episode. So that was episode number 23 of the Tesla Q podcast. Bye-bye.